Say it is truly wonderful to see so many familiar faces from the industry under one roof here in the sunny side of life. I would like to welcome you all to the Tourism Symposium 2024. We are so excited to have you here with us, and we have got an incredible day ahead filled with insights, discussions, and a chance to really shape the future of tourism here in the Maldives.
Absolutely. My name is Manal, and I'll be co-hosting alongside my colleague Suha. And before we dive into today's program, we would like to extend our heartfelt welcome to the esteemed VIPs joining us today. Allow me to introduce our chief guest, the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Mr. Ibrahim Faisal, also accompanied by state ministers, CEOs, MDs, and senior officials from the Maldives government.
We are truly honored to have all of you here with us today, and we are deeply grateful for your continued support and commitment. And to all of you, our honored guests, we sincerely thank you for your time and for being here, and we hope this event provides you with valuable insights and meaningful takeaways.
All right, let's give you a quick rundown of what's in store for today. So we'll kick things off with some important speeches from key figures in the tourism industry, and then it's going to be followed by an engaging panel discussion and a series of keynote presentations. Later, we'll also be diving into group discussions on critical topics shaping the future of tourism. So get ready, we have an exciting day ahead of us.
And now, to officially get things started, I'd like to invite someone who is truly instrumental in driving the Maldives tourism vision. Please join me in welcoming the CEO and Managing Director of Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation, Mr. Ibrahim Shuri.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Minister Ibrahim Faisal, Chairperson of MMPRC, Abdullah Ghias Riaz, Deputy Ministers, State Ministers, Managing Directors, Senior Representatives from the government, distinguished guests, and all our esteemed participants. Welcome to the first edition of Tourism Symposium by Visit Maldives. I want to start by sincerely thanking each one of you for making time to be here. I'm delighted to see so many of you joining us in this collaborative effort to provide industry insights and engage in meaningful discussions. This event is very special for a number of reasons. Since joining MMPRC as CEO and MD, I have been actively reaching out to all tourism industry stakeholders. I have been actively listening to their concerns and taking their feedback into account. Since taking office, I have held numerous meetings, totaling of 300 hours with NGOs, airlines, embassies, and resort-level representatives. This tourism symposium is a direct result of these efforts, a platform to bring together industry professionals and facilitate open dialogue. Like our tagline, we are finding solutions through dialogue. At MMPRC, we have shifted our focus on how we showcase the Maldives. We've been known worldwide for sun, sand, and sea, and our one island, one resort concept. While that remains a vital part of who we are also working on showing the world that Maldives is so much more. We are the destination with something for everyone. Whether it's sports, medical, wellness and culture, adventure, education, or film experiences, we are expanding our offerings to attract a wide range of travelers. The end goal of all this diversification, as I mentioned before, is to cater to the preference of a wider range of travelers, ensuring that Maldives remains a top destination for all types of visitors, regardless of the experience they are seeking. As we continue to work towards our goal of welcoming His Excellency President Dr. Muhammad Muizzu's target of 2 million visitors this year, we believe that collaboration is key. We can only reach and exceed that milestone if we all work together towards it. And each and every one of you play a key role in making this goal a reality. Your feedback and insights are crucial for us to continue growing and improving. Whether it's finding new ways to market the Maldives or tracking the challenges that come our way, your input will help us stay ahead and make the Maldives even better destination for travelers worldwide. I'm confident that by embracing new ideas and working together, we can build an even stronger and more diverse tourism sector. Let's continue to innovate and create unforgettable experiences for every visitor that comes our way. Thank you again for being here today at the Tourism Symposium by Visit Maldives. I'm excited for the conversations ahead, and I know we'll walk away from today with fresh ideas and plans to keep our industry thriving. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MD, for those inspiring words. Next, it's our honor to invite our chief guest, the Minister of Tourism, Mr. Ibrahim Faisal, to share his opening remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Industry partners, colleagues, and esteemed guests, Assalamu alaikum. I am delighted to welcome you all to this symposium, an initiative by Visit Maldives. Today, we gather here to unite key stakeholders from the tourism and related sectors in the Maldives with the shared goal of addressing challenges and exploring solutions for sustainable tourism growth. As we embark on this journey together, let us reflect on the Maldives' unique position as a global tourism destination. Our pristine beaches, vibrant coral reefs, and rich cultural heritage have captivated travelers from around the world. However, to ensure the long-term sustainability of our tourism industry, we must adapt to evolving trends, address emerging challenges, and embrace innovative approaches. This symposium provides a valuable platform for insightful discussions, knowledge sharing, and collaboration. We will dive into critical tourism issues, including experiential tourism, diversification, and emerging segments. Experts will share their valuable insights through keynote presentations on multiple areas. We will also engage in group discussions on connectivity, tourism segment development, tourism growth, and ecotourism. These discussions will undoubtedly contribute to shaping the future of our tourism industry and ensuring its continued success. I encourage all of you to participate actively in the discussions. Share your expertise and contribute to finding innovative solutions. We need this to build a more resilient, sustainable, and thriving tourism industry for the Maldives. Thank you, and I wish all a productive and fruitful symposium. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Faisal, for your warm words. Up next, we have a special address from the chairperson of MMPRC, Mr. Abdullah Ghias. Please give him a warm welcome.
Good morning, Honorable Minister of Tourism, Ibrahim Faisal, State Ministers, Deputy Ministers, CEOs, and MDs, distinguished guests, industry partners, and friends. It is both a privilege and a deep responsibility to stand before you today, representing Visit Maldives, as we chart a path forward for the future of Maldivian tourism. Today is not just a moment to reflect, but a call to action, an invitation of each of you to join in shaping the vision for 2025 and beyond. We are at a pivotal junction, one that demands bold thinking, transparent dialogue, and a collective wisdom of all our stakeholders. The global landscape of tourism, much like the tides of our very own seas, is ever-changing. Challenges have tested our spirit, especially financial constraints that has led to difficult decisions. We have taken steps, but these measures are surely temporary. What lies ahead is not just about saving, but reimagining, rethinking how we present the Maldives to the world. It is about a sustainable, creative, and resilient future. Our journey forward demands a 360-degree marketing strategy, where every touch point, from digital platforms to traditional media, becomes a thread in the story we tell the world. Today, I speak to you with openness. Currently, almost 80% of our budget is allocated for travel trade shows. While these remain essential, the winds of change urges us to make change. We must balance our presence in key fairs with smarter, more innovative approaches, reaching high-yield markets. This means embracing creativity, technology, and engagement like never before. We cannot do this alone. We need the partnerships and support of our local partners, NGOs, local travel trade medias, and industry leaders to stand with us in this endeavor and share the burden and the vision. I'm proud to say, under the leadership of our tech-savvy and creative CEO, we are already taking bold steps. Through initiatives like the Visit Maldives Creative Labs, the Sunnyside Studios, all in-house, we are crafting content that authentically represents the soul of the Maldives. The sun-soaked shows, the whispers of waves, the vibrant cultures, we are capturing these in a way that ignite imaginations worldwide. But content alone is not enough. We need to dive deeper into understanding our markets. Our recent data forum was just the beginning. Aimed with data-driven insights, we are ensuring that every decision we make is rooted with a sound strategy, maximizing our return on investment, and the relaunch of our membership portal integrated with various APIs with various dashboards will further strengthen our ability to analyze, adapt, and thrive in the global arena. Another key strategy is appointing strong PR representation across critical markets, whether it is India, China, UK, US, Russia, South America, the GCC, the French-speaking countries, and even Scandinavia, to name some. Our past efforts in public relations have been valuable, but we know we can do more. We know we can do better. We must introduce new metrics, set higher standards, and even consider bringing PR capabilities in-house to ensure that our message is not just heard, but felt. Social media strategy is shifting towards content that truly speaks to the traveler's heart. We aspire to make Maldives synonymous with luxury and exclusivity, perhaps the Rolls-Royce of tourism, but not ignoring the people, our culture, and community tourism. This demands an unwavering commitment to high-quality, experience-driven content that aligns with an unparalleled appetite for the Maldives. Last week at the Data Forum, Meltwater, our friends there, revealed that our online videos, especially the user-generated content featuring liveaboard experiences and underwater footage, was gaining more traction compared to other competing dive destinations. This serves as a valuable case study and offers insights to other segments. We are committed to producing viral videos, launching mini campaigns with plans for a major summer campaign targeting next year's low season. These efforts are part of our many campaigns that we are preparing for 2025 with your support. As we look to the future, we are embracing market-specific strategies. For example, in China, we are deepening our digital presence and partnering with key leaders there, and even working with airlines to make sure that our connectivity and the longevity of these routes are permanent. In India, we are forging a sincere connection and building the trust and a brand again with partnerships, engaging with medias there, influencers or KOLs, and even celebrities. Russia, another key market that we have not fully tapped into. We need to refocus and re-energize to go there. I know I can go on and on about each country like this. Each region is unique, and it is our responsibility to understand and cater to the nuances, ensuring that Maldives remains on top of their travel list. Innovation and adoption is at the core of our strategy. Sustainability, too, is our guiding star that as we steer through these waters. We will harness the power of data-driven marketing, expand even on our in-house digital marketing department, and another priority, like our MD mentioned, even the minister tapped on, diversifying our tourism product. And I'm sure in the rest of the day we'll hear more about this, and this will give food for thought. We will collaborate with global brands and form strategic partnerships with airlines, tour operators, and various stakeholders, ensuring that mutually beneficial outcomes maintain Maldives' position as a leader. Additionally, we'll revisit and enhance familiarization trips, media trips, and even appoint tourism ambassadors, aligning these efforts with updated guidelines from our strategic point of view from Visit Maldives. As I conclude, I must express my profound gratitude to Honorable Minister of Tourism, Ibrahim Faisal, whose steadfast commitment is crucial in our journey at Visit Maldives. Equally, I extend a heartfelt thanks to His Excellency, President Dr. Mohammad Muiz, who believes deeply in our potential to make a difference. I assure you, this is just the beginning. Today is about taking this to another level, but this is just the beginning. The conversations we have today will continue in the coming weeks and months through focus groups and collaborative efforts. Together, we'll build a masterpiece where Maldives not only thrives, but leads, inspiring travelers and setting benchmarks for excellence and delivering a masterclass like no other across the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gias, for those insightful thoughts. Now it's time for our first big discussion of the day. We've gathered some of the top minds from various fields for a panel that will dive into the topic, Strategizing for Resilience and Sustainable Growth in the Tourism Industry.
This panel will be moderated by our Deputy Managing Director, Mr. Zihuni Rashid. And now, allow me to introduce our panelists. The Minister of State for Tourism, Mr. Munim Anis. The Minister of State for Health, Ms. Hadija Abdullah. The Minister of State for Fisheries and Ocean Resources, Ms. Aminat Hussain Sharif, the CEO and Managing Director of MMPRC, Mr. Ibrahim Shuri, and the Deputy Minister of Economic Development and Trade, Mr. Ahmad Salim Saeed.
Please join us in extending a warm welcome to our distinguished panelists.
Good morning. Hello, and good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our panel discussion on strategizing for resilience and sustainable growth in the tourism industry. Thank you all for joining me today at this very exciting panel, and it's my absolute honor to be hosting this panel with you all. Tourism is the backbone of the nation, and we have gathered here today to discuss the challenges and opportunities and future prospects of this vital industry. As the industry continues to evolve, it is essential to explore strategies for sustainable growth, and this panel aims to kickstart the ideas and solutions needed for this development. Today joining us is the State Minister for Tourism, Munir Manis, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of MMPRC, Mr. Ibrahim Shuri, Minister of State, Khadija Abdullah, Minister of State, Aminat Hussain Sharif, and Deputy Minister, Ahmed Salim Said. Each panelist brings a wealth of experience and knowledge to the table. I'm confident in their insights and will be valuable to this discussion. To kickstart things, our first round of discussion is based on new experiences, trends, and diversification of the Maldives tourism industry. We'll begin with the Minister of State, Munir. For the first question, what are the key tourism projects or initiatives currently being developed by the ministry?
Thank you, Zihuni, and thank you, Managing Director, and all of the team here from MMPRC, I think, hosting this incredible event. And I'd like to take this as a privilege to be here. Before going into that question, just since as the representative of the Ministry of Tourism, I'd like to highlight a few points that a lot of people, have been asking us. I thought that we would just clear some doubts, because when we talk about the development of tourism, a position in our tourism sector, there's a certain degree of fear and panic where we would position our tourism to keep our luxury brand, because some of us are seeing that the brand we are taking as we develop the tourism into different areas. As we diversify, we are taking the value out of it. And I admit that when I came into this post in this government, we had that fear, we had that panic, we saw that what was coming in. But working from inside, seeing this from inside, we see that we have great potential to develop. It's not just one area that we can develop. It's more open. It's more open. So whatever way we position ourselves, we are not going to lose our value. So we have that confidence. Our team have that confidence. Our industry have that confidence. Maldives has space for growth. So I think that's something that we want to be very clear to start with. Somewhat related to what your question is about, because when you talk about the new developments, it's always asked, the question that we are always faced with is that where are those developments coming? Whether we are going to expand into the developing more resorts, or are we opening our sort of mid to low and community-based local tourism? What is our focus here? So again, it's related to what I've mentioned before. We are expanding our tourism on all of these angles, but we are very careful not to lose the brand value of Maldives, because this is uniqueness of Maldives tourism. So as we develop, we are going to hold on to this value here. In terms of projects, right now, I think the president has clearly given us instructions from the beginning, and he has been on his pledges as well, that the tourism in Maldives would grow across all regions of the country. So it is not concentrated in the prime regions around Malé. So the projects that we have announced so far covers all through from North Halif until to the south. So we have projects already announced and awarded all of the regions of Maldives here. And I'll touch a little bit on the types of projects that we have. So far, the majority of our projects has been on the tourism resort development side. But we have seen a lot of eco-tourism developments that we have introduced. There is again under the pledge of His Excellency President, like the one yesterday, our minister signed an MOU with Bara Council that we are announcing an eco-tourism project there. So this is an important milestone for us to expand our growth of tourism in the within the island community. And then this is a specifically targeted to developing eco-tourism product that we are trying to establish here in Maldives. So these are the things that we are focusing right now, and there are several other projects that we have been discussing. And I think as we go on the panel, we can touch on some other projects that we have.
Minister Munim, I think I wanted to add one thing to your question. Regarding connectivity, is there any work that has been done or any importance given by the ministry on enhancing connectivity for the Maldives in terms of projects?
I believe you're referring to connectivity because there are a lot of, when we talk about connectivity, we are working, definitely we have a special focus within the ministry, within the industry to expand and try to find ways to tackle the connectivity problem that we have. Number one, I think it starts from with the international airlines that arrive in Maldives. So I think the first issue would be opening of the new terminal of the airport that we hopefully will be able to address by the through next year, and so we will see definitely more airlines coming in, and we are working very closely, I think, with CEO Shuri and with a lot of industry partners. When we go and meet airlines abroad and through our bilateral channels too, we are working on bringing in new airlines because we know that the capacity will increase when the airport is open. And in terms of bed capacity, we still have a lot of room to fill. So we know that approaching new airlines is a strategy that we need to work on. So there's something we continuously do. And but the most challenging part for us is to bring these new airlines into other parts of the country. I think that has been continuously a challenge. And I think everybody in this room may well be aware of the chicken and egg situation when you introduce a new airline into a new international airport. And for example, I think everybody is familiar with the Addu case. Addu City, again, international airport has been there for a while, but I think we always we have all struggled to bring in more additional airlines to start, and we already had a forum with southern region stakeholders, specifically focusing on connectivity issue, and we have received some findings, how to position our policy on giving incentives and encouraging more airlines to come to Addu, to fly to Addu, and but the situation is not only because of the airlines not wanting to come, but there is the problem of increasing the bed capacity in the region as well. So we have been, and if you talk about Addu, I think right now, like for example, the case of Shangri-La, there is already a property there which is not operating, but we have on closed doors we have been working with Shangri-La, pushing them a lot to open at least because we need to increase the capacity in Addu. So these are the difficult things that we are working, and on the promotional front, I think there's something that we can work on through marketing agencies, through MMPRC and several other tour operators that to bring in more flights, and there is also the regional connectivity between Addu and other atolls, Gaf Alif, Gafdal, and Formula within the region. So that's also something that we are working on. Some other issues, I think international airfare prices, this is something that there has been talked a lot, and something that right now we all know that we are facing deficit, external deficit situations that I think sort of like hindering the incentives that we can offer to bring down the prices. But then there is also the intra-connectivity, domestic flights, the prices of domestic flights, the prices of carrying capacity of these for flights. I think these are also the things that we are trying to work with local airlines as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was a very comprehensive answer. Moving on to MD Shuri. To add to that, I think we've been talking about diversification a lot. Are there any potential experiences in the Maldives that have not been explored, and why? And how can tourism establishments make full use of them?
Before I answer to that question, I would like to say a few things regarding the symposium. This is a very happy moment for me personally, because I think we have in this room all areas covered, from the government, from the private sector. So the idea behind the symposium is, according to the tagline, finding solutions through dialogue. So I hope that we'll be able to find solutions to the diversification that we are talking about. So we've been talking about introducing, traditionally we've been promoting sunset and sea, mostly honeymoon and diving. But now we are talking about, why not we talk about education tourism? Why not we talk about health tourism, film tourism, sports tourism? So these are the new areas that can be done with the help of everyone in the room, of course. So we often say we have an off-season at times, but I think with the diversification, we'll be able to come up with new markets. For example, education tourism is maybe we can reach out, we can market to maybe some of the countries where they have summer holidays. So why not we bring them over during this period, so that we have facilities, we have our universities, we can connect them, and we can find ways to collaborate with them and fill the beds. And at the same time, the students can also take away something from the Maldives. Same goes to health tourism as well. I think we have Diversification base also. This is not talked about. We have to promote it. There are many people who enjoy Diversification base as well. So if we talk about Diversification base, this is a new experience that the guest can experience. So that is also something that we can do, which we currently have, but we don't talk about. If you look at sports tourism as well, there are things that can be done long term and in the short term. For example, we see runs like Spartan Run. They have it in different countries. So if we have something like that, if we make an event called Spartan Run, people will fly from different parts of the globe just to participate in the run. And I'm really sure that if it's in the Maldives, they would definitely want to come. But so far, we have not talked about it. We have not made an attempt to it, but we are working on it as we speak. So not just that. So there are other things that can be done without, high infrastructure, like boat races or bicycle runs or something like that. There are so many things. And also, if you talk about film tourism, I think we see some countries like New Zealand, Ireland. These are countries that shoot films a lot. And this is a new segment, new kind of tourism where people travel. Even I've been there, just to see the place. And the whole, the country or the area that has been shot is filled with people, fans. They just go to see the place, and then they buy gifts. The hotels are filled. So when I see Maldives, I see something like that. Why not we promote Maldives as a place where we can have a lot of, film shoots. Yes, there are difficulties. That's what we are going to talk about. And we have people in this room who is directly linked with, making this possible, from customs or immigrations or government. So the idea behind this symposium is to find solutions, and I've spoke to some of the senior people from customs as well, and they are very supportive, and I'm very happy to say that, because this is something that we have to do. We have not been doing it, we have not been talking about it in the past, but these are things that we can do, and I'm sure within today's discussion, we'll be able to come up with so many solutions that we'll be working with the government, we'll be presenting it to the relevant bodies. If we need to make any policy change, we'll work towards it. And eventually, we'll be successful. So I'm very optimistic.
Thank you, MD. Minister of State Hadeja, I believe MD has also touched a little bit on medical tourism, but in your opinion, does the Maldives have potential to become a key medical tourism destination in this region? And how can we capitalize on this potential?
Thank you. Can you hear? Thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here to represent the health sector. First of all, I firmly believe Maldives have potential to be a premier medical tourism destination that provides the high-quality care. First, we have a strong foundation. As it's been mentioned, we have a strong existing reputation as a luxury tourism destination. And to attract medical tourism, we need to capitalize it. And one way we could capitalize is to focus on areas, just like CEO just mentioned, complementary or alternative medicine, like Diversification type of. We need to focus on what kind of areas we should focus on. It could be wellness to sports rehabilitation to fertility and even dental care, which is high in demand. And currently, we have developed a policy paper for the Visitor Economy Council, and we are still in the review process. It's a really new area for us, so we are still learning about how the other countries similar to us are doing. And it's important to collaborate with renowned international medical institution to get enhanced credibility and also to get the trusted, to build the trust in the system. And health service delivery is not an easy area because it's really broad. It's from prevention, promotion to specialized high-technical care. So it's not easy to recruit health professionals, and it's hard to retain them. It's costly, so we really have to plan, assess, do studies and things like that. But with the right partnership, I believe it can be done. And the government support is also needed for this, and to advocate for streamlined processes and all the incentives for investors. And there is, obviously, there's potential we can work on. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Minister of State Aminat, on the subject of diversifying into new segments, what are the potential benefits of incorporating fisheries-related activities into existing tourism packages, such as island hopping or cultural tours? And what role can the ministry play in this?
First of all, thank you for the opportunity. The Maldives has a unique opportunity, obviously, to enhance the position as a top destination for sustainable travel. Through the integration of different, things related to the fisheries industry. I think that it will be an opportunity for tourists to deepen their understanding of the Maldivian way of life, the strong connection we have to the ocean as well. Our fisheries sector is not just an economic pillar, but an integral part of our cultural identity as well. For example, we eat tuna for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and this is something that needs to be not just a narrative or something communicated in a forum like this, but we should ensure that people actually witness this And what better way to do that than incorporating cultural tours into tourism packages? These experiences create a link between the modern tourism industry as well as the old age practices that we have in sustaining the communities at the moment. It's a chance to demonstrate how the ocean is woven into our daily lives as well, from the food that we eat to the livelihoods of our people as well. In this way, we also can offer visitors not just a scenic trip that they might be looking for, but also offer a narrative that we have. Tourists can experience firsthand the methods we use to fish for the first thing, understand the environmental care that we take, and also witness the importance of fisheries for our economy as well. This deeper connection that encourages a sense of responsibility and respect towards our marine resources as well, aligning with the global trend at the moment of responsible and sustainable travel. And the sense of connection will hopefully translate into responsible seafood sourcing as a consumer as well for the people who experience this. The ministry itself can play a crucial role in this, in facilitating integration, in connecting industry or interested fisheries industry, as well as tour operators, and collaborate the private sector and highlight, and highlight what is available for the public as well. This will obviously be beneficial in sharing what is widely across the sectors as well. This would not only strengthen the bond that we have between the tourism as well as the fisheries industries in our country, and also provide opportunities for local communities to directly benefit from this influx of tourists that we expect. By playing an active role in promoting and regulating these activities, we can ensure fisheries-related tourism grows responsibly, providing long-term benefits to both the local economy as well as our environment. In doing so, we can offer a more diverse tourism product that appeals to environmental conscious travelers while preserving the natural and cultural heritage of our islands.
Thank you so much. Yes, indeed, I think we've met several tourists who come to our shows and have spoken about our fisheries products and how different it is as well. And I think as two key pillars of our economy, both tourism and fisheries, we have a lot of room that we can grow together, and we're excited about this potential as well. So thank you for that answer. Deputy Minister Salim, how are economic policies being implemented to facilitate new tourism developments?
Good morning. One of the key pledges of our president is to diversify tourism. So we are currently developing regional co-working spaces and create hubs across the Maldives, with the major hub already underway in Malé, Chandanimag. And these spaces will provide digital nomads and creators with the infrastructure they need to live, work, and create in the Maldives. In line with this, the cabinet already made the decision to develop a master plan that includes smart cities, innovation centers, and technology parks. This isn't just a futuristic idea. This is something we are planning to complete by the next year, and it will open up enormous potentials for creating new experiences for tourists, especially for those who are just not looking for the beaches.
Thank you so much. Thank you, panelists, for your insightful answers. I'm sure the audience has many follow-up questions, and we'll give you time to ask your questions from the panelists at the end of the panel, so please note them down. Moving on to the second round of discussions with a focus on public-private partnerships. Let's move back to the Minister of State for Tourism, Munnim. How can we increase the involvement of the tourism private sector in government initiatives for tourism development?
We have, I think in Maldives, encouraging private sector to be involved in development, I think, is sort of our philosophy. We have been very successful. And there is a reason for us to have private sector involved, fully engaged, fully in this. Because we see that, because we are, first of all, a free market economy, so providing the opportunities for the bigger players to be creative, the newcomers who are entering into to be more innovative in their solutions. So the idea of our product now, because the Maldives tourism product has already matured, I think enough that everybody sees as an example. So I think, first of all, our public-private partnership, we don't want to limit that as sort of like a contract that we have with the public, so the private sector. So providing them the opportunities to develop, to bring in new ideas and new developments into the sector, I think that's the idea that we are having. So not to limit, but there are some infrastructure projects that, of course, definitely we need to work even at the ownership level, with the private sector. So that has already been there. So, but the tourism facility ownership, the establishments that anybody can own on their own. So the partnership model is, I think, very familiar to us, and it's very working, and it's very productive for us. On the expansion of the tourism, new areas of tourism, I think this is something that I would like to highlight, which I could mention in my question and my answer before. So, for example, there are some exciting new opportunities that we see that we have the potential to enter into. For example, real estate tourism, branded residencies. These are the things I think all of the new high growth developing markets, if you consider like the case of Dubai, Singapore, and there are other few, the real estate, bringing real estate into tourism, I think this is something very successful that we can also integrate into our. And this also aligns with our integrated tourism models that we have been working into, but it has not really took off that at the speed that we wanted to have. But I think bringing in real estate market into this, real estate developments into this project integrated policy will enhance, and speed up this process. And also we can provide other opportunities because the preferences of the traveler is it's very different compared to a few decades back. So we have to cater to these demands. And again, since these are the new products that are evolving, that will come into that we hopefully we would like to bring into the Maldives tourism. So these, so when these things come in, we will see that the partnerships may be unique. The public-private partners that we have, maybe we can position it in a unique way. But at this point in time, again, our philosophy is encouraging private sector to drive this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. MD Shuri, what emerging trends in hospitality are influencing the brand positioning of tourist establishments in the Maldives? And can public companies play a larger role in this?
Yes, definitely. Not just the public, it's the whole nation. It can be that the partnership, I believe, is not just from the public or the government bodies. It has to be through everyone. That's why we have invited all areas, people from, seniors from all areas. I think even the school, the children, the modules, or that has to cover some of the areas that we want to cover in terms of tourism. As State Minister Monim has mentioned, we don't want our image to be tarnished. We want to brand Maldives as a premium destination. That's for sure, period. So in order to do that, I think collaboration is key. It's not just the public, it's the whole nation. It includes NGOs, it includes the governments, it includes the resorts, it includes all the SOEs. So with their collaboration, I think we'll be able to deliver much better, because if we want to do it alone, it's not possible. To make it happen, we have partnered with MATI, we have an MOU with them, we have partnered with Guest Association, we have partnered with Boating Association, we are working very closely with Tourism Ministry, we want to work closely with Sports Ministry, Fisheries Ministry, Economic Ministry, all the ministries. So together, if we work together, I'm sure it's very easy to do anything. It's our imagination. However we want to foresee the future, it's up to us. So we are talking about sustainability. So from the school age, we need to teach kids. If we want to maintain the premium brand that we want, so throwing garbage in the sea or in the beaches, this will tarnish our reputation. So from the very young age, we should educate them. So, and as the senior figures in the industry, we should also find ways to promote sustainable tourism. And I think we have plans from MMPRC side also to work with established big firms, how we can collaborate with the resorts, find ways to minimize food wastage. So we very soon we'll be talking about those as well. So there are many upcoming projects that we are very excited, to find ways to promote Maldives as a premier destination. At the same time, that doesn't mean there are other emerging products, as you mentioned. We will have to talk about, guest houses. We have to talk about liveaboards. But together, I think the Maldives has enough to cater to everyone, maintaining that brand as a premium destination. So yes, I believe collaboration is key.
Thank you, MD. Minister of State Khadija, I think MD has also highlighted a lot on collaboration. How can the healthcare industry collaborate with the tourism sector to create integrated wellness packages?
Thank you. There are many ways the health sector could collaborate with the tourism sector. One way is to include combined medical checkups and preventive health screenings into already existing wellness packages that they offer in the resorts, I believe, in the hotels. So we could also we could also create wellness and medical vacation packages, holiday packages, which includes health assessments, checkups, and also therapeutic treatments. And develop a collaborative marketing strategy to include these. And it's also something we could focus on specific demographics like elderly people. People are living longer now. So it could be like extended holidays and stays with the right medical care they need or checkups, and also to promote healthy lifestyle, exercise. And also ways to include programs for like athletes, sports people, for recovery and all that. And to do this, government also needs to play a key role in for incentives and encourage the collaboration and streamline the regulation and benefits. And integration of medical insurance for tourists as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Those are very exciting ideas as well. Minister of State Aminat, we have a much more direct question for you. How can the ministry coordinate with the private sector or international organizations to develop the Maldives as a location for hosting fairs or research camps for marine enthusiasts as a way to attract more tourists interested in sustainable travel?
Thank you. Maldives has a unique opportunity to enhance its position as a top destination for sustainable travel, as I mentioned before, through the integration of marine fairs and research camps into our tourism offerings that invite tourists to take part in hands-on conservation efforts. These camps could focus on creating or in areas such as coral reef restoration, turtle tagging, manta ray monitoring, and sustainable fishing techniques as well. Tourists would not only benefit from these unique and interactive experiences, but their involvement could directly contribute to the preservation of our marine habitats as well. For instance, a tourist could spend the day working with a marine biologist to collect data on coral bleaching, or learn how the climate change impacts our coral reefs, as well as what steps can be taken to mitigate this as well. We already have a lot of foreign researchers here or visiting here. And also well-known documentary makers are always eager to capture our sustainable story as well. Such initiatives can attract a global audience of marine biologists, oceanographers, conservationists, and tourists passionate about environmental stewardship as well. Establishing these programs such as these with a focus on citizen science and education can engage tourists more deeply as well. We feel that allowing them to actively contribute to marine conservation and also, just to state that this is not new. It's already happening around the country, as we know. And aligns perfectly with the Maldives' ongoing commitment to sustainability, both in tourism and in fisheries as well. Local businesses such as resorts and dive centers, I think, are already invested in preserving the marine environment as it forms the foundation of their operations as well. The Maldives research arm, the ministry, which belongs to the ministry, Maldives Marine Research Institute, MMRI, often collaborates with local and international organizations, as well as in areas of fisheries management or restoration of coral reefs impacted by bleaching events. MMRI's research contributes to Maldives' reputation as a leader in sustainability and ocean practices, particularly as the country navigates the challenges we have with climate change as well. MMRI organizes Maldives Marine Symposium every year as well. And this important event brings together many marine scientists, conservationists, policymakers and international experts as well to discuss pressing issues that the country is facing in the marine environment or keeping it sustainable. Through these events, I think we have a good opportunity to strengthen our role as a global advocate for the protection of marine ecosystems, but also positioning ourselves as a destination for marine research and, as well as sustainable tourism as well. Through these coordinated efforts, the Maldives could become a global leader in ecotourism with a reputation of offering tourists more than just relaxation, an opportunity to contribute to the long-term preservation of the world's most extraordinary marine environments that we have. I do, however, have to note that such research done needs to be regulated to ensure that the research is actually beneficial to our country as well. And also the data collected should be staying in the Maldives so that there's continuity as well. But there's a huge role that our ministries can play in this. The significant potential is here, but current facilities that we have need to be further developed for this dream to be realized. In the past, the ministry has leased islands specifically for establishing research centers. For instance, the University of Milano Bicocca has opened an outpost in Fafoto, and also we have a training and research facility in Kafumanya Fishery that's currently in place. However, these facilities are not yet up to the standards that we would require to cater to influx of tourists, in this area. So further investment is needed to make this a reality, really. But we feel that there's a great potential here to have a different kind of tourism where our sustainability as well as our marine life is involved in, the tourism sector as well.
Thank you so much. I think there's a lot of room for us to collaborate together as well, especially to ensure that the research and everything that you're doing is provided to the right people. And I think MMPRC can play that role, and we are really excited to collaborate more. And of course, regarding your marine symposium, I think similar to the tourism symposium, we'll be more than happy to join along. And I think the tourism industry can play a vital role in securing those investments and those other funds that are needed to ensure that there's growth in your sector as well. So I think it's a good start for this. Moving on for the last question of the second round, Deputy Minister Salim. What new investment opportunities are being promoted to drive economic growth in the tourism sector? And how can investors, both local and international, get involved?
Thank you. There is a growing emphasis on ecotourism, eco-friendly resorts, and sustainable practices. Investments in renewable energy, waste management systems, and conservative projects. The government is focused on improving transport infrastructure, such as airport expansions, new seaplane terminals, to ensure accessibility to various islands. There is a push to diversify tourism products beyond luxury resorts. This includes promoting adventurous tourism, cultural experiences, and wellness retreats, which can attract different market segments. Investors can partner with local developers or acquire existing resorts. Engaging in public-private partnerships can be a good way to share the risks and resources. Investors can collaborate with the government on new tourism projects and infrastructure developments.
Thank you. Now moving on to the third round of discussions, this time centered around challenges and sustainable development. To start things off again, Minister of State for Tourism, Munnim, how does the ministry plan to address the challenges of over-tourism? I think this is a really common topic I think we're facing right now, and ensure that tourism development benefits all regions of the Maldives?
Yes, as you put here, this is an interesting question. I think it's, but first my question to you would be, does this imply that Maldives is an over-tourism destination? Are we really facing the challenges of over-tourism here?
I don't think we are right there, but if you look at different other destinations that are like Barcelona or Venice, I think these are case studies that we have to look at prior to opening the doors.
I mean, if you put this question, I think this is very interesting, because if you put this question and ask everyone in the room, I'm probably everyone here will have a different answer, because it is sort of like is related to the identity of our tourism itself, or perhaps the tourism of the destination that you're speaking to. Like in the case of Barcelona, I think this probably the talk of this over-tourism has been going on since the events happened in Barcelona. So because it's pretty much, I think, if you look at it, talking about over-tourism, from my personal observation, I have seen that mostly it's centered around sort of like at a city level, if you look at like Barcelona, because it's a city now, we are talking about some more tourism issues in Lisbon, and then there are some places in Greece and Italy. But I haven't seen any of these challenges that they have talked about at a national level. If there is any nation, is a country level, whether they are tackling this issue. Maybe there are small city-states might be facing this. But definitely, if you look at from the Maldives perspective, I think it's very different. First of all, we are trying to, in one hand, we are talking about, bringing development of tourism to farther areas in the country. And we haven't even reached, we haven't even scratched the surface of most of our regions, I would say that. But if you're talking about concentrated areas like Malé Atoll, and more specifically to some islands, I would say, because if you look at it even at atoll level, you would say that, well, that over tourism, is it coming from the number of tourists that's coming, or is it because of the number of facilities that are growing? For example, we wouldn't say that if you consider Malé Atoll, number of tourists that are coming, we wouldn't say that it's over to, we are not facing really challenges to deal with the number of tourists that are coming in, because we have enough resorts and other facilities in Malé area. But in terms of the product that we sell, to give the services that they want to offer, increase in number of facilities, resorts within Malé area, maybe the facilities are too crowded here. So the definition of over-tourism itself, I think, is very different from Maldives context. If you compare to the city center tourism, which are like Barcelona, Lisbon, and some other areas, is Greece and Italy, I think. And there's also the concept of, sort of like the experiential tourism. So what do you want to really seek, the tourists really seek when you come to Maldives? A lot of cities that are facing right now, I think, over tourism challenges, what they have is sort of like historical sites that they have been sort of preserving for over years, for over like centuries, I would say. So there is a product that they sell. So there is nothing much they can do to expand the area. I mean, I'm talking about the spatial area, to cater more tourists, which is in the Maldives case very different, because our tourism not highly really based on those historical or heritage sites. This is a product we are developing. It is evolving. Like I mentioned before, we can innovate, we can create. There are new types of designs that are coming into. We are creating experience as we go along. So increasing the number of tourism, we have the privilege and the opportunity to expand and design our tourism for the increasing number of people. We haven't reached 2 million yet. 2 million is not a huge number. And we are talking about, we are a huge country in terms of, the total sea, ocean, and land space if we count it. And the several lagoons are there, several islands are there that we can still create more experiences. So I think the conventional definition of tourism wouldn't apply to Maldives. That's, I think, what I would say. So I don't personally see that Maldives is an over-tourism destination, not yet.
Thank you. I think some of the stakeholders we've spoken to has mentioned that our oceans are big enough for all of us to exist together, and I think that's a very right mantra to follow. But to follow up to one of the points that you mentioned with regards to facilities, would the government at any point consider putting a cap on certain islands, like in terms of facilities, or is that a consideration that you would be looking at?
Again, I think that is more practical. This question, if you look at over-tourism point of view, that question is more practical, and some islands like Mafushi and Rastud and some other islands are there still that we could. But again, there is so much difference between the development of local tourism compared to one island to the other. As we are sort of like embarking into integrated tourism model, I think this is something that a lot of islands right now are seeking, whether they can have this model within the sort of like community-based tourism. One thing that for sure the government and we are also trying to work with local councils is that the carrying capacity of these islands has to be increased, because probably the land is there, the people is there, but what they don't have is the infrastructure, the basic utilities, water, power, and all these things, drainage systems and all that, which usually the basic level the government provides for the local population of the islands, which is not enough if you talk about bringing in tourists into it. If if the increase in has been increase in number of tourism coming into these some local islands, so it has to be aligned with the capacity that they have. So if we have a specific policy or arrangement for an island to develop into, sort of like to house a lot of guest houses and all that, then the facilities, the infrastructure has to be increased, the capacity has to be increased. So these are the things that we are trying to align this model, because from a national point of view, I think the government point of view, the facilities are right now provided for the local population. Yeah.
Thank you, Minister. MD Shuri, what are the future plans for Visit Maldives to address the challenge of diversifying the Maldives tourism promotion activities to penetrate new segments and increase bed nights?
Yes, we have a lot of new promotional events, activities planned for next year. And I'm sure with the group tech discussions that we are going to have, we'll come up with new ideas. So we'll be looking into those as well. Currently, we've not been able to tap into MICE tourism. We've been talking about it. If you look at Crossroads, the facility here as well, there are, I think I've spoken to a couple of resort personnel, and they said there are requests that comes, for 400, 500, 600 packs. So I think that's also some area that we can, look into. To expand, if we want to diversify into that area. We have new areas like quiet luxury is also something that is coming out, and we have ecotourism, and also when we do the marketing, I think we recently had a data forum, and from that we have learned a lot. And previously, when we do marketing, we just blindly do it. But now I think with that session, we will be doing informed marketing. For example, there's one software where they analyze all the influencers, the trending influencers, and from that, they say that, okay, these influencers have this much followers, and if you invest this much amount, the return on investment is this much. So I think going forward, when we do promotions, we will do based on these data so that it will be effective. We'll be informing all the partners, all the resorts that, okay, this when we do this will be the result. So I think even when we do the promotions with tourism, we'll be focused on those things. And also, I think we've talked about the off-seasons, and I think we have to work closely with MACL. For example, if we want to fill in the beds for these off-seasons, if we want to attract more airplanes or the airlines to operate, maybe during this period, we can talk to MACL and find ways to give discounts. So I think they are willing, and it's. I think MOT is doing a very good job, communicating with them, and they are also on board. So going forward, I think when we do the promotions, it will be, if we do it in a collaborative way, the result would be more. And like I said, when we do the promotions, we'll be working with all the NGOs, with the resorts. We'll be looking into their feedbacks, and we'll be tackling all the new markets going forward.
Thank you. Minister of State Hadija, on the subject of challenges of diversification, which I believe we have spoken a little bit, what are the potential challenges that may arise if Maldives was to emerge as a medical tourism destination?
Thank you. With any new service or initiative, there will be challenges. And health is a complex area. And one challenge would be the regulatory issues, like establishing a strong accreditation process to meet the international healthcare standards. And the other one would be healthcare workforce. I mean, it's not only doctors and nurses, there'll be other allied health professionals and the recruitment of the staff. There's a shortage in the world. I'm sure my colleague Afal will go into more details on the medical tourism. And the competition we have to gain the trust of the tourists to come here for medicals, and how are we going to compete with other established medical tourism destinations like Singapore and places. So strategic marketing is needed, and we need to do the right marketing. And cost management. Healthcare is costly, and we need to find cost-effective ways on how to sustain and retain the services. And another major issue is the environment concerns. We are a very geographically dispersed country, and currently we don't have a proper emergency medical services like to airlift patients or anything. So we need to ensure there is very established emergency medical services for any emergencies. And another area would be healthcare waste management and medical waste. How are we going to get rid of the waste? It's a challenge the health sector faces every day, even now. And another area would be legal issues. Develop clear legal frameworks to navigate malpractice and liability concerns for international patients. Yeah.
Thank you. Minister of State Aminat, with Maldives being a destination with the sea so close to its heart, can we develop activities such as big game fishing tournaments to attract tourists while retaining the sustainable fishing practices that we are known for?
Thank you. As you rightfully pointed out, we Maldivians are deeply rooted to and connected to the ocean. It's not just our identity or our economy, but our very way of life is intrinsically linked to the sea. This makes activities like big game fishing an exciting opportunity to enhance tourism, obviously, while keeping our commitment to sustainability front and center. The Maldivian fisheries have always been guided by principles of sustainability. We practice pole and line fishing for generations now, a method that's selective and also responsible, ensuring minimal bycatch as well as impact on marine ecosystems. Net fishing and other more damaging gears are prohibited by law. It is this careful stewardship, actually, of our resources that has allowed our fisheries industry to gain international recognition and also thrive the way it has at the moment. As we look to the future, our focus on sustainability has not changed. It remains unchanged, and it extends to new initiatives that we may introduce right now as well, such as sport fishing as well. Sports and big game fishing is increasing in popularity in the Maldives already amongst the locals as well as the tourists. There's, of course, a lot of potential to introduce big game fishing tournaments, for example, to attract tourists. And that will create a significant boost, I feel, that for the tourism sector as well, with bringing enthusiasts from across the globe to take part in it. This vision is also reflected in President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's manifesto as well, with the development of a sport fishing harbour. specifically catering to the sport fishing community that we have at the moment. We are currently working with the Ministry of Tourism already on this, on concept notes to develop for sports fishing harbors or destinations across the Maldives. However, looking at all this, it's crucial that and critical that we do this in a way where it complements our sustainable practices as well. We must ensure that the tournaments adopt strict guidelines that regulate, for example, catch and release practices that we have in this country, protect threatened species, and uphold highest environmental standards that we adhere to. Such measures would allow us to showcase the beauty of our marine life to our tourists, but without compromising the future. To enhance the tourism experience while promoting sustainable practices, we could market these events as eco-conscious events, appealing to tourists who want to engage in responsible travel. For example, holding an annual or biannual sustainable fishing tournament or event could bring economic benefits, but also showcase the Maldives as a leader in marine conservation tourism. In this way, by blending sport and tourism, the Maldives can offer a high-quality tourism product that aligns with its environmental commitments, providing a unique, responsible, as well as an adventurous experience for international visitors. We have a unique opportunity to enhance the Maldives' position as a world-class destination, and not just for honeymooners, but also for fishing and conservation as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. For the last question, Deputy Minister Salim, can you provide updates on any ongoing upcoming infrastructure projects that will sustainably empower local communities to develop tourism in different regions in the Maldives?
Aligning tourism development with broader sustainable development goals ensure that economic growth does not come at the expense of the environment and social integrity. Implementing regulation and promoting responsible tourism practices include environmental protection and guidelines for resource use, helping to preserve the Maldives' natural beauty. Involving local communities in tourism planning and decision-making process ensure that we benefit from, ensure that everyone benefit from the tourism activity, helping to preserve the cultural heritage and provide economical opportunities for all. And encouraging mixed tourism products such as adventurous tourism, wellness retreat, and cultural experience can attract a broader range of visitors and reducing the dependency on the luxury tourism. Improving infrastructure such as transport and utility supports not only the tourism, it will benefit even the local Maldivians. By implementing these policies, the government aims to create a balanced tourism sector that supports economic growth by preserving the unique environment and culture for the future generations.
Thank you so much. We have reached the end of our questions for now. My lovely colleagues have been texting me constantly because I think we are a little bit over time. But I will open the floor for one or two questions if you have any. Please raise your hands if you have any questions for our panelists.
Hi, thank you so much. This discussion has been very insightful, and what I have is not really a question, but some comments, because for the past 8 months or so, I have been obviously thinking very deeply about community-based tourism or local island tourism. And I know that SM Munnim has touched on this, that we do have, at the moment, one of the biggest challenge right now is that we feel that the community-based tourism is actually impacting our luxury brand and what we have built over a number of years. And the local island tourism, we should think of it as still in its infancy. It's just been about 15 years, and there are a number of lessons that we should have learned by now, which includes that, let me just start by giving an example. Well, iPhones are a really, premium brand. They don't sell phones that are as cheap as the cheapest Androids. So that's something we should keep in mind. The Maldives as a luxury brand, maintaining it doesn't mean that we should also have another sector which is a really budget tourism. Our island-based tourism, or the type of tourism that we should be developing, is by understanding the current market trends. The experience that we get in a resort is not something that the newer generation or the upcoming generation, they are seeking more than what you can get just in a resort if they're visiting a community or an island. So that means things that you have already touched on, like our heritage, our culture, our foods. These are all unique things that you will never be able to replicate in a resort. So let's start thinking about this not as guest house tourism as per se. Guest house tourism, I think that mentality makes us think that the product is going to be something that you set up in a single place, just one building or structure and whatever is surrounding it. That's not our product. Our product should be islands. So we have islands which are all very unique, unique in geography, unique in what we can find in island, the natural, we have all types of different islands. We have islands in mangroves, we have islands good for fishing, we have islands where we can do pelagic diving, so many other opportunities that's available to us that we should be tapping into. Also keep in mind that we need to keep in mind that it's been mentioned that carrying capacity, right? Islands, first and foremost, our local islands, we should keep in mind that the primary function is for the locals to live in. So whatever model that needs to be shaped in the future, and learning from our lessons is that, we can't have 1 in 3 houses in an island being developed into a guest house, right? If we can raise the bar, from $60 to $120 rooms, if we can raise it to $500 rooms, there's still a lot of room for us to bring our current community-based tourism, the value of our current community-based tourism to a much higher level. That is because we have the advantage of being Maldives. So islands do not need to have, obviously limiting is not something that you can enforce, I guess. It has to be a concerted effort with the councils and policy level and decision makers. There's enough money in this that we can raise our current standard and the island, the community-based tourism to a much higher standard. And we should be thinking more in terms of creating island destinations instead of guest house destinations, as what a lot of us might do. I mean, I have a lot more things to say, but I know the time is short, so I'll just stop at that. And if anyone wants to add to that would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, DMD Nishwan. That was really insightful and really interesting analogy with the iPhone comment, I think. As you mentioned, collaboration is key for us to move forward in this industry. For the next question.
Yeah. My name is Nizam. Okay. I fully support what DMD Nishwan has mentioned just now about the community-based tourism and the island-based community-based tourism in the Maldives. The problem that I also see here is that we have the highest of the highest products in the country, and then we have the lowest of the lowest. when we say guest house, it's the lowest of the accommodation type. And then what we lose here is the middle market. So I think now we have to find a solution to this. How we could coexist these two products. How are we going to do it? Is it going to be based on prices? Or is it going to be the quality of services, the standard of services? If we are going to have our prices, value-based pricing strategy, if we adopt a value-based value-based pricing strategy, then I think it could be another solution also, rather than going to a cost-based pricing. And then there is another solution, maybe, that is cross-marketing. Like, if the luxury resorts are going to be marketing, let them add another product from the experiences from the islands, the community-based tourism. So this is cross-marketing, cross-promotion. So this way also we could promote the Maldives. And then we should be very mindful about maintaining the luxury image of the country. We don't want to see that one fine day Maldives be just another destination that you plan today, go tomorrow. This should be a dream destination. This should be a country where you have to plan and come. You have to plan in advance. Then only it becomes a dream destination. If you want to go today and say, oh, I'm going to Maldives tomorrow, then there's no plan and just buy a ticket and fly, and then it's no longer a dream destination. It has to be a dream destination. Even the island community-based tourism, they have to get a better yield. How we do it, how we do it, whether it's adopting gastronomy or normal travelers, this is, this marketing strategy and targeting different market segments. I think this is this we have to strategize and maintain. That's all I have to say. I don't want to take too much of your time. Thank you.
I think that's all for the questions. Thank you all panelists for joining us today for this. One more question from Walid.
Shukran gatao divehim fashani gato me guest house takuge wahaka nuwata me tourism ka symposium me bevi ken daru almenge bajehe almenge sagafata de terega warapada visnada ei divehi sagafen almenge bajehe fahatta warapada damara hitamuskoram me sagafi tarikha behe faratakum mita meka symposium ge bæverige nuleti eto den guest house takuge wahakaka badaluga alme mi dakkane medufanti ke tourism me courier room da wahaka detto ema me medufanti ke tourism maki aslu guest house tam meha et ei rajyege bank guest house tam mehare bahuri me resort takavra me amme aadaga resort avra agbut guest house hidma vesangal tanta den egetere almen eba jehe warabboda mi tariha sagafe mi implement kureve ngeto de alon khiyalege gotoga hama shala den
shukriya ngeto a minister
ade warabboda shukriya ngeto den mena algonos divehin kuriye gendana itagi neives divehin kama wati den mi aslo mi symposium maki algon me MMPRC aki ga discuss ko faden MMPRC mi goriya kame wara furiha me intizam ko di famiyati de algon men kuriyen ettangi radu kore via wara mikala gina kanka ingeto erun algon men na me beenum wa hiyala mi kankan kuriya dar policy level kalgon me masik ko na wara boda fase have gende mi ge sababu embe aslo hama mi gota mi complain kuri ei algon handambani ahmim baby commerce event etteren kannenge ef enimma edu kande edu ko md kanwe aade un etana mi booking mi hun agoda adi mi kala baawar mi waragina waage ki tour operator na adi plus mi rajyega mebuni hem booking kala agoda kala adi situr online platform takum besas baawari vi etana oso algonda wara boda is vi mi emmen ekoffa mihuri problems ta aharamenna understand korevegen eya solution hoda masike kurime me gaslo aharamenna den demme waraboda den mi algonda waraboda notice eche maga maga for me local tourism ma den luxury resort toga mi competition den onna oy echekkan qabul kuran jehe aslo den faha kurihan rajyega ebahuri guest house ta kama wara rajye khuri by resort ta kavore rangalan hada for war ehnomes me guest house ke kanta hoga salonu ebeje saka eha boda effect wegen nudane kala gotaka ega regulations tabbas padul kurevi me sustain long term sas rajyege hensara haddu taka vis alonu menge amazaki sarukaro policy ge emme boda amazaki divi rajyege tourism nettantana tourism gendiyun ege teren emme boda va efada ki waraboda ti fada ta local community ya etantaga diriule zuwanunna ege sababun kure adi alonu menge tax base waraboda tax base bodu wegende ei dawlata alonu menna revenue ege sababun ituru wegen daane kame emme misaka hanimaduga mehar airport yanna ni menna march hisabuga nimmalle wene den alonu men e hisaba tourism endutake genaun e mifars india ga rice ke state daturu visit ga wara boda maseke kurewundiya investor forum adi tourism ministry ya economic ministry ya mmprc ekko alonu men eta maseke koni india ki wara carry goi wara bodu market ngeto den ane mitami dekive emme boda debate mi kurewani rajyege mi position divi rajya ki world leading destination gota e maintain koggin divi rajyege tourism battan koggin kuriya gendiyun ei asdu algonu men beenum wa ei divi rajyege tourism develop wefa oti e gota the Maldives se bunima ei Saudi Arabia ga miha rehadani hama divi rajya iga miya tourism ngeto ema competition ves kuriya gotta gannane den algonu menge marketing hama ngeto MMPR sin mi duwaku divi rajyege taarihu galwana mita inde miedu bonelam beenun iradu kurevia mien naharum feshigen duwaku divi rajye marketing ga harakattiri nuwa wara evre gadeya lari huri health hakata huri iksota hodagen a market tavis adi source market ta hoges algonu menge marketing waravvaru gata kurana ngeto mige sababun bed nights me anna misalaka Russia market rajyega emme in my information emme boda mi spend mi kurani Russians එහෙම අදි එතන ගොස් එයි MMPR සිං එත ඔෆී එක ගදයාගෙන් බේස් වේගෙන් එකන් කුරන් ජෙහෙ කම වියස් එකන් ඉරාද කුරවිය කුරානන් දෙන් හම අලගොන හම ෆුර්සතුග රයිස් ඩොක්ටර් මොහමද් මුයිස අලගොන මේ ටූරිසම් රාජ්‍යයක මාකටින්ග මිහා බොඩ කන් කමුග දෙමික MMPR සිං වස්වනි රයිස් ප්‍රෙසන්ටේෂන් ලබස් මා කුරියන් වෙයි හතර හරි හාසකොම් මියන්න හරුගේ ලෝ සීසන් අලගොන මං අමාසකි ගෑග්ගනක 10 to 15% ලෝ සීසන් ඉතුරු කුරු ngeto midiya harab abura araboda may june midiya hama dakkodiye ngeto ehmima den ami local tourism tereng algonu men beenumani demme ebefulake faha kurevi divi rajyege sagafata ehere divi ingel diriulun experience kollan libun ehme mi numbers hama ekeni ituru kurumen nune anna divi rajyege anna majority arrivals ki divi rajyege exoduga ಲಾರಿ ಹರದು ಕುರೆವೆ ವರುಗೆ ಫತುರುವೆರಿಂಗ್ ಗಿಣವು ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಬಿಡು ಅಮಾಜಕಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ತೊಯ್ ಸಾಲಕ 1.5 ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಫತುರುವೆರಿಂಗ್ ಅಳ್ಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿವೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅಮಾಜಕಿ ದೇವರಿ ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಫತುರುವೆರಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಣರಲಕ್ಕ ನೋಡಿ ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಫತುರುವೆರಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಬೆ ಎಚ್ಚೆ ಬಡುವಾಕಮ ಬಂಜಾಮು ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ತೊ ಎಮ್ ಅಳ್ಗೊಂಡು ಮೆಂಗ್ ಎವರು ಬಲ್ಯಾಗಿಂಗ್ ಏಕಂಕಂ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಿದಿ ಆಹಾರುಗ ವರ ಬೊಡ ಲಕ್ಸರಿ ರಿಸಾರ್ಟ್ ತಹೋಗೆ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೆನ್ಸಿ ರೇಟ್ ದವ್ವಿ එක මියහරු මිදියහර බලායිරු වර මිහම ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රීගේ හම මිකමුගේ රිසෝට් හිංගා ෆරැත්තකු අලුගන්න දීෆෝරි මවලුමත් මිහරු ඉරාදු කර වියහම බොඩුතනු රංගාලු එම්විම දින් අලුගන්න මෙන් මි වගුතු ටූරිසම් මිනිස්ට්‍රී නා MMPRC අදිවෙස් සරුකාරුගේ දින් අලුගන්න මෙන් ඒරු දෙක්කි ಫುರತಮ ದೆಂ ಏರುಗ ವರ ಬೊಡ ಮಿಕಮ ಆನೆವೆ ಫಾಡ್ವೆಸ್ಕಿ ಸಾಲಕ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಇಂಗೇತೋ ಥೈಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಗೆ ಬದತುರು ಕುರೆ ದಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕುರಂ ಎಂ ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಫತುರುವೆ ಇಂಗೇತೋ ಎಂ ಅಳುಗಂಡು ಗಬೂಲ್ ಕುರನಿ ದಿವಿ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಹುಣ್ಣ ರಿಸೋರ್ಟ್ ಎಗ್ಗ ಎ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಗಾಯಂ ಕೊಫ್ಫ ಎಯ್ ಅದಿ ಮಿಸಾಲಕ IVF ಹಿದುಮೆಕ್ಕಮ ವಿಯಸ್ ಅದಿ ಡೆಂಟಲ್ ಹಿದುಮೆಕ್ಕಮ ವಿಯಸ್
heya me turukiyen emmen edaturu kurani ema rajyega mikankam mi kurevene kanka ingeto boluga den istere algondu oga boluga stan kola maduko ema mikan kurane annane divi rajya mikan kuran ehme mi kurevene kanka ehme furutama kamaki ane ආරමෙන් එම්මෙන් එකති ගණඩක වෙගෙන් එම්මෙන් ගබූල් කුරු මීක හැම එකනේ දිවි රාජ්‍යයේ සරුකාරා ටූරිසම් මිනිස්ටර් එකගේ රුහුන්න මීහක MMPRC ඒකනේ කුරේ වෙන කමෙන්නෝ මී කොමියුනිටින් එක්ක ආරමෙන් එම්මෙන් එක්වරි වෙගෙන් MD MMPRC ගේ MD ෆාහ කුරු වෙන එම්මෙන්ගේ එබ්බාරුලොම එකීක කුරේ වෙන කංක මිගොත කුරේ වුණිම රාජ්‍යයේ ස්පෝර්ට්ස් ටූරිසම් ඩෙවලොප් කුරේ වෙන මෙඩිකල් ටූරිසම් ඩෙවලොප් කුරේ වෙන අදි ರಾಜ್ಯಗ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ನೆತ್ತಂತನ ಅಳವಡಿಮೆನ್ನ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಗೆಂದಿವೆ ಮಿಸ್ ಗೆಂದಿವೇನೆ ದೆನ್ ಆನೆ ಮಿ ಬುಣ ಹಂಗಮ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಬೊಡ ಮಿ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಗೆ ವಾಹಕ ಮಿ ದೆಕ್ಕೆನೆ ಹೆಮ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಎಬ್ಬುರಿ ಸಾಲಕ ಅಳವಡ ಮಿ ದೆತೆರೆಂದೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಕ ಇಂಗೇತೋ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಕ ಮಿಹಾರು ಆಹಾರಕೋ ತಿಂಗಾ ಹೆಂಗ ಫತುರುವರಿ ಜಿಯಾರೆ ಕುರೆ ಎ ರಾಜ್ಯಗ ಹುರಿ ಎಹೆನ್ ರಡ್ಡಶಾ ಬಲಾಯಿರೋ ಮೂದಾ ಮಿಕಂಕಂ ಎ ರೀತಿ ಕಮೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲ ಹುಗನೆ ಎಹೆನ್ನಮ ಟೈಗರ್ ಶಾಕ್ ಎಯಿ ಮಿಹಾರ ಎಮಿಹುಂಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಬೊಡ එතනුගේ ටයිගර් ෂාක් ඩයිව් සෙන්ටර් හිංගා එක්කොජ්ජකුගේ මසෙක්කතුන් මියන්නහරු ජූන් හිසාබු ගලවන හීවනි නෙට්ෆ්ලික්ස්ගේ ෆෝමුලකුගේ මිකමුගේ නෙට්ෆ්ලික්ස් මීගේ මිහුන්ගේ කිච අන්නාන කම අලගොන මිහුන් ඒ ඩයිව්ස් කොමියුනිටි අබද්දල් කොරින් ගියත දැන් වර බොඩ බලන් හැම තනක ගොසියා ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රීග මසෙක්කේ කුරා එම අලගොන මෙන් සරුකාරුගේ පොලිසියකි අදි ටූරිසම් මිනිස්ට්‍රීගේ අලගොන හවාලේ අලගොන මෙන්ගේ ටීමො මිකුරා මසෙක්කතකි ෆැසිලිටේට් කොද්දිනෝ එම්මෙන් එක්කෝ ගුලිගෙන් දෙන් අම මිබුණ වර බොඩති අම මිහාතන ඟාර අලගොන මෙන්න ඇකි මිහාරු හාසකෝ එම්මෙ ෆහුන් නිමිගෙන් මිදිය ඉන්දියා දතුරු අද ඉටලිය වෙස් මිදිතරෙන් අලගොන මෙ දතුරේ කුරින් හම ඉටලියගේ ටූරිසම් මිනිස්ටර් එවස් අලගොන බද්දල් විදින් අලගොන මෙ මේ උම්මීදු කුරණි ඉටලියග ද මාකටින් ග අලගොනුගේ හියා අයිඩියා එකි ඉටලියග මිසාලක හත්තින් සිටියේ මිලාන් රෝම් ನೆಪೋಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣೆ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಳಗೊಂಡ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಕುರಿಂಗ್ ಅಳಗೊಂಡ ಮೆನ್ನಗೆ ಕಮುಗ ಇಟಲಿಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರುಗೆ ಫರಾತುಂ ಎಬ್ಬಾರುಲು ಲಿಬೇಣೆ ಅದಿ ತನುಗೆ ಹೊರಿ ಬೈ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಗೆಂತಿ ಬಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿ ವೆರಿ ನಾವೆ ಸಲ್ಗೊಂಡ ಬದ್ದು ಕುರಿಂಗ್ ವಿದಾಳು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಕಂಕಮುಗ ತಿ ಎವೆಫುರುನ ದೇವೆಂ ಹುರಿ ಹುರಿಹಾ ಎಬ್ಬಾರುಲು ಮೆ ದೇನೆ ಕಮ ಅಳಗೊಂಡಗ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಏಕಿ MMPRC ಇಟಲಿಗ ಗೊಸ್ ಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಾನಿ ಇರೋ ಮಿ ಬುಣಿ ಸಿಟಿ ತಕುಗ ಎಮಿಹುನ್ನ ಗುಳಿಗೆಂ ಎತನುಗೆ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಎವರ ಫಾಲೋವರ್ಸ್ ತಿಬಿ ಮಿಹುನ್ನ ಎಕೀಗ ඒ මාකටින් හරකයක් තේතා කුරියගෙන් දෙවැනි තින් හතර වරක සිටීග ඒ හිසාබ කො රෂියාග වියස් අදි ජර්මනීග වියස් ඉටලීග වියස් යුකේග වියස් මිහෙන් හුරි සෝස් මාකට් තෝග අදි ඉතුර මී එම්මෙ බොඩ යුරප් හෝල් මිදෙන් එම්මෙ බොඩ දිවි රාජ්‍යගේ ටූරිසම් එම්මෙ ස්පෙන්ඩ් කුරා එහෙම්විම දෙන් අල්ගොන්ඩුගේ එම්මෙ බොඩ අයිඩියා කි ලෝකල් ටූරිසම් තෙරේග මියයි දෙන් හම මීගේ කුරින් නොකුරා කමේ ගෙස්ට් හවුස් MMPRC බෝඩකෝ ඇසෝසියේෂන් කො රෙප්‍රසෙන්ට් නොකුරානේ මිහාරවානේ ෆුරසත් දීෆ इंगेत एम एगिन एगेनी अलगोन में मितिबी हम एम्मे बैवरी कोग्गेन मिकन कुरंकन देन अने मटी एति हम वरक गෑක්කෝ දිමාව කොම්මෙ කමෙග්ග දෙන් දවලතුන් බයිෆාරෝ එවකුතුගේ දවලතුගේ හාලතු උන්න ගොතුන් අලගොන මෙන්ජේ එම්මෙන් යදි එම්මෙ හින්හම නුජේ කාලා ඩිසිෂන් තබ්ස් නගන් එහෙන් නගන් ජේ ඩිසිෂන් නේ දිවි රාජ්‍යක මියෝගුතු රයිසෝ ජුම්හුරියා නගාන දෙන් අලගොන මෙන් ඒක ඩිස්කස් කොෆා එහුන්න හල්ලුත ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රී ගුරි කොන්සර්න් ත රයිස් හිසාබ ගෙන්දියාම රයිස් අඩුවසවන් අදේකම හුන්න හල්ලුත වෙස් හල්ලු හොද දෙන ඉංගෙත එහෙන් වීම අලගොන්ඩ බොඩ රංගලි හම විහාවස් බොඩ අලගොන්ඩ වර බොඩ බේනෝ කොබාතෝ ගෙස්ට් හවුස් මාකටුග වකින් අලගොන්ඩ මෙන්න ඒ මාකට් ත ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ කොග්ගෙන් එතන තන මියන්නනි දල්ගොන්ඩ මලුමත් ලිබෙගොතු ගඩ්ඩි හෙඩොලර තින්ස්තේක ඩොලර දේතරේ අද දෙක ආම්මකෝ එවරේජ් කෝ ගෙස්ට් හවුස් තෝග රූම් මි වික්කනේ දෙන් එවරේ බොඩකෝ ගදි වික්කා වර හයි එන්ඩ් ගෝ හදාෆුරිතන විජේ එවරේස් බොඩකෝ වික්කපන් එම වකින් එමි හුන්න මාකටින් ෆෝරම් මිබුනි එමි හුන්න ගොස් ඒ බිස්නස් ලිබේන ගොත ෆයාත බේවුම කීවස් අලගොන්ඩ වර බොඩ බේනුම් වාකමේ ඒරුම් මිබුනා සෝස් මාකට් තෝ අලගොන්ඩ මෙන් බොඩ ඉන්වෙස්ට් කොෆ්වා मी राज्य मी डेस्टिनेशन लीडिंग डेस्टिनेशन गोता मी पोजीशन मेंटेन कुरा मुं अदि इतुरु मी हुन्न बेस्ट बिजनेस मी लोकल टूरिज्म मेटा एहा बोड अलगोंड वासवबकी अलगोंड बिलोंग मी वनी राज्य टूरिज्म नेसर हद्दक इंगेतो हम गेनें उलेनी फेनकयागा अने कोम्मेसनकुम वजीफा अलगोंड में मियदु मेहंती रफुन दायरं अतोलुं कुज्जकु जुवानकु गुलाया फी अबदुस दक्काने कोम्मेस्तिमालकुम वजीफा होदा वाहक एकम ಫೆನಕ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಕುರನಿ ನೂಹಾರಕಂ ಹಾಸ್ ಮೋಜಫುನ್ ಹಾಕೀಗ ಫೆನಕ ಅಸ್ಲು ಹಿಂಗಂ ಬೇಣುಂ ವಣಿ ತಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಸ್ ಮೋಜಫುನ್ ಎಮ ಮಿ ಗೆಂದೆ ಉಣಿ ಮ ದೌಲತುಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ವರ ಬೊಡುತನುಂ ಕೂಡ ಕುರೆವಿ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ವರ ಬೊಡ ಎಂಪವ ಕುರೆವಿ ವರುಗದವೆ දිවිරාජ දුනිය එව්වස් කවමගේ එක්සෝදේ අලුගොණ ගබූල් කුරා ගොතුග වර්ගොද කුරෙවේනි හකත හුරි එක්සෝදක හෙදේනි එතනෙක්ගේ ප්‍රයිවට් සෙක්ටර් වර බොඩ වර්ගොද කුරෙවිගේ එහෙම ඒ උසූලුන් ඒ අලුගොණ හම දෙ මිහා බොඩ වාහක දක්කාදම් මේ බේනුම් මේ විබුණහෙන් අලුගොණ මේ ෆෝරම් තෝගේ බේනුමකි අලුගොණ මිතාංග මේ හේද කුරවුණු වගුතුග මීගෙන් එංගිගෙන් මිදියයි මේ හුරි කන්සර්න්ස් තා අලුගොණ මෙන් ෆරාතුන් පොලිසි ලෙවල් ග මිගොතක හම අලුගොණ බෑරිය වුණු අං න ෆෝරම් එක ගවස් එනි ඉම්මාලා ෆෙස් අලුගොණ හම වාහක දෙක්කින් තින් අලුගොණ මෙන් වර බොඩ බලන් හම ඉංගේ තෝ මිනිස්ට්‍රීන් MMPRC අලුගොණ මෙන් එම්මෙන් ගුලිගෙන් මේ ප්‍රොබ්ලම්ස් අයිඩෙන්ටිෆයි කුරෙවුණීම ඒ එම්මෙන් එක්කොගෙන් අලුගොණ මෙන් එය සොලියුෂන් හොදේන ගොතේ ඒගොතුන් ට්‍රැවල් ඒජන්සි බිල් අලුගොණ මෙන් ඩ්‍රාෆ්ට් කුරුමුන් දාති එකමු ගවස් මෙන්හෙටන් ගල්ගොණ මෙන් මිදේතරෙන් හම බේවින් ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රීගේ මීහුන් නෑ කීග දෙන් හම අලුගොණ විරාද කුරෙවියා වරන් අවහ මිනිස්ට්‍රීන් ඩයිව් සෙන්ටර්ස් තක ඇකීගෙස් බාවවන්න ඒ රාජ්‍යයක මිහාරෝති නවරස්තේක නොදී එව්වන අහරු ඩයිව් ගවායිද ගුසුල්තක හෙදිෆා ඒ අලුගොණ ගබූල් කුරණී අධිහාස්ක ෆෝමුල කලුගොණ දෙවුනීම එමිහුන්ගේ ෆරාතුන් අන්ඩර්ස්ටෑන්ඩ් වී මිහාර එබ හුට්ටේ ගවායිද උසුල්තක ගෙන්නන් ජෙහෙ බදල්තක එහෙම ඉරාදු කුරෙවිය එකන් කුරාණ මී අස්ලෝ මෑගඬු බේනුමකි මිකාලා ಫೋರಂ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು ಮೆಂ ಬೇವುಮು ಎಂಗೇತ ಎಮ ಎವ್ವೆಸ್ ವರಕ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು ದೇಂ ಬೇಣುಂ ವಾ ಯಗಿನ್ ಕಮಕಿ ದಿವಿರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಸರುಕ್ ಮಿಯದು ಸರಕಾರ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯ MMPRC ಕೊಂದು ದಿವಿರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಮಿಯ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಡೌನ್ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಕುರಾನ ಗೊತಕ ಎವ್ವೆಸ್ ಕಮೆ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು ಮೆಂಡು ಕುರಾನ ಎ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಕುರಮು ಲೋಕಲ್ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ದಿವಿರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ರಡ್ಡರುಗ ದಿರಿಯುಳೆ ರೈತುಂಗೆ ದಿರುಳುಮುಗೆ ಹಾಲತು ನಂಗಳ ಕುರುಮಟ್ಟಕ ಎ ಬೊಡ ವರ ಬೊಡ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಕೊಗ್ಗೆ ಸಸ್ಟೈನಬಲ್ ಗೊತಕ ಏಕಂ ಕುರೆವೇಣ ಗೊತೆಗೆ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು ಮೆಂಡು ರಾವಣ ದೆಂ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ನೆತ್ತಂತನ वन आइलैंड कॉन्सेप्ट के रिसोर्ट है डेवलप कुरुम की मिताती बिगिना बेफोन नेंगे फस्ट राज्य के मिहारो मिहिरा अन्न प्रोडक्ट तक बल्यार सते एक मिलियन $1 अड्डी हवर का $1 हरदु कुरंजे एवरुगे रिसोर्ट एक हदं एम टूरिज्म नेत्तंतन एगे फस्ट हा रिसोर्ट एफवारा गेनवमकी ඒ වර හැමදෙන් වර උඳගු කම එගත කුරුම ෆස්වරක හරදු වස්තේරේ එකම් ලෝකල් ටූරිසම් තෙරෙන් හාහෙ ෆරනස්තේකෙන් හබෙඩ උෆද්දාෆා දෙන් අලගොන්න මෙන්න රීජන් නක තින් දෙ රිසෝට් තින් හතර රිසෝට් ඒගේ තෙරෙන් හාහෙ ෆරනස්තේක බෙඩ උෆෙද්දුනීම සස්ටේනබල් ගොතක ගෙතන්තාංග පිසදක බල්ල මහින්ගාම අඩ්ඩු අලගොන්න මෙන් හම non stop මසෙක්කේ කුරණි අඩ්ඩුගා ටූරිසම් ඩෙවලොප් කුරන් එගත අලගොන්න ඉරාද කුරවියා වරන් අවහා මිකහලා ගෙදරින්න ගෝවාදාන ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಹುರಿ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ತಕ ಅದು ಹಾಸಕು ಅಡ್ಡುಗ ರೀಜನ್ಗ ಅಡ್ಡು ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ ಏ ಸರಹದ್ದುಗ ಗಾಫಲಿಫ್ ಗಾಫ್ದಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಕೋ ಎತಾಂಗ ಬೆಡುತಗ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಕೂರ ಎಮ್ಮೆನ್ನ එයාල් එතන්තන අලගොන්න මෙන් ඉන්දියා මාකටුන් ගෙන්නම් බේනුම්වා එයාලයින් තක අදි ඩුබායි ෆ්ලයි ඩුබායි අදි චයිනාගේ බයි එයාලයින් තක එතන්තනුගේ ටු ඔපරේටර් උන්නා එම්මෙ නැකීග මසෙක් එක්කොගෙන් කොබාතෝ එම්මෙ අවහ අලගොන්න මෙන්න අඩ්ඩෝග ටූරිසම් ෆන්ක්ෂන් කුරේවේන ගොතක ඒග තෙරේ ගමෙතන් තහුන්න ඩයිව් සෙන්ටර්ස් අදි ඉතුරු ටූරිසම් මගුළුන් හොරි කම හින්ගන්න එෆුන්න එක්කො මිකාල ගෙදරෙන්න කාලගොන්න මෙ වර අවහ මිනිස්ට්‍රි MMPRC එක්කො එකන් කුරාන ඒගොත හම රාජ්‍යගේ අඩ්ඩෝග ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් එයාපෝට් මෙහර එලිෆ එබයි එම අලගොන්න ගබූල් කුරණි මිගොත වියසේරුන් චයිනා මාකටුන් ඉන්දියා මාකටුන් චාර්ටර්ඩ් ෆ්ලයිට් අලගොන්න මෙන්න ගෙනවේන කම මේ ගබූල් කුරණි ඒගොත එම්මෙන් එක්කො මසෙක් එක්කොරිය මෙගත එම මේයි හම අලගොන්න මෑගණු කො ෆාහ කොල්ලම් බේනුම් විකමකි එම අලගොන්න හම වර I'm හම very confident එගත දැන් හාසක හම මිකමු අලගොන්න එබ්බාර දොන්දේ එම්මේ හබේ ෆොන්න වර බොඩ ශුකුරු දන්නවා හම එහෙම මිකම් කම් ෆාහ කොල්ලම් බේනුම් ශුකුරි
शुक्रिया मिनिस्टर वर मुहिम वक्फर तक अहमद वारंगा ngeta
alor me ahmad guest house association ke naib rais alwar dera hitam kuram me guest house tafat kurang by beful mashara ko wahada ka itihas ko me ka podium thoge amika simple almen hingashe ekko me rajye ka mihar registered 17000 pavuragina bede buhuri assate ke vuragina guest house registered buhuri ඒගෙතරේග මේ අලුණු මේ 3S के बदलुग 3C community culture connection ඉගත එම මේ connectivity එන්නුම් culture මේගෙතරේ විශ්නායගෙන් මේ affordable luxury බල්වා මිසක පුල්මේරියා ලූනි ස්ටෝන් හොටල් වරෆා හොළුවිතන දිප්පුෂි ඒවර ෆෙම්වර ද රිසෝට් තංග බර රාජ්‍යක ඒවර අගොහෙක වික්කා රිසෝට් තංග බරියම මේ එම්මෙන් එක්කො මේ දිවහ රාජ්‍ය එද්දිමාලක විස්නම් ඩෙස්ටිනේෂන් ගොතුග මාකට් කොග්ගෙන් ටීම් එක ගොතුග මසෙක් කොග රාජ්‍ය මෙටෝරිසම් ගෙන විජාලරේ මාරංගලවානේ ඒගෙන් හිකි අලුම මේ මිදියම බේබි බංගලාදේශගේ ඩාකාගේ ඉවෙන්ට් අලුම නදිබාල බොඩ ෆෙබ්‍රුවරි බංගලාදේශේ දමාදාෆා එකම ඒ ඉවෙන්ට් කි මිරාජ්‍යගේ මිහාතන චැලෙන්ජ් කො මෙදන්නවනි බේබි එම්මෙ කාමයාබ් එන් ඉවෙන්ට් ඒක එන් හෙකි ඩේටා ෆෝරම් තෙරෙන් ට්‍රිප්ඩ්වයිස් අම්මනිස් මගර දෙස් තීම් වර එහෙනම් තෝ සර්ච් ඉන්න බලායර එම් මිහාර අලුමෙන් කොරිය ප්ලෑන් කො ෆෙබේ ඉතුරු ඉවෙන්ට් අසර්බයිජාන ජෝර්ජියා සතාර ඩිසෙම්බර් 20 ඩිසෙම්බර් එහෙම මියවස් අලුමෙන් මුළු ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රි එක එම්මෙන්න දවවත් එමේ එහෙම අලුමෙන් වර හිතාම කර මිහාරස් මිරාජ්‍යක බලා දෙහස් තිම්මන හරු අදා ෆෝ ඩයිවින් නාබේ දතුරු ෆතුරු ගානුන මියොති දෙහස් තිම්මන එහෙම මීහ කුනියා වෙජ්ජා ගෙස්ට් හවුස් වාලම් එරක් බන්දු කුරංගවනි රිසෝට් අකුම් ಟೂರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕುಣಿಯಾ ವೆಜ್ಜ ನೂಸ್ತಕ ವೆಸ್ನಾರ ಏಮ ಮಿ ಜಹಿಗನಗೆ ನೂಳೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಟೀಮ್ ಎಕ್ಕತುಗ ಮಸೆಕೊಗ್ಗೆ ಮಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ එහෙන් ලෙවල් එක ගෙන්දු මරණ එදේති වාහක දක්කාලිය ගෙස්ට් හවුස් ඒ බුණෆියා වරන්හඩි මේ මිසාක ෆෝමල කිත ඩයිව් සෙන්ටර් එබුරිතෝ කිහා ටූරිස්ට් මෙසේ ෆාම් කරෙ තින්හා වරගෙන එහෙම මීති මිහෙන් වාහක දක්කාගේ මෂරාකොගෙන් එම්මෙන් එක්කෝ මෙකන් කොරිය ගෙන්දුම ආරු ඇසෝසියේෂන් ක ෆරාතුම වරබොඩ එදවාහක දන්නවා සුක්‍රියා
අලුණ හැම එච්චේ ඉතුරු කොල්ලම අලුණ දෙමෙ වාහකයාග වරබොඩ අධි රාජ්‍යගේ ටූරිසම් ಗ ಹರಕಾದ ಸಫಾರಿ ತ ಲಿವ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅದೇ ಎವಾಹಕ ನುಗಣೆ ಉಂಡಿ ಮಿಗೆತ ವರಬೊಡ ಮಾಫಾಗೆದೆ ಏಯಿವೆಸ್ ರಾಜ್ಯಗ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಗೆ ಹಮ ವರ ಬೊಡ ಗೆತ ಅಮ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು ಮೆಂ ಅದಿ ಇತುರ ಕುರಿಯಂ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು ಅದಿ ಎವ್ವೆಸ್ ಫೆಯಾಯಕೊಂಡು ವೆ ಫೆನೆ ಮಿ ಅಸ್ ದಿಯವರ ಕಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವೀರುಗ mi befulunge den amiru mi kan ega den raisaka de to mi wagutu mi hunnane ekam alonu bara baddal kuran gena baddaluwe egotun hamma maya kiges mi de tereng e ruga befulna dimawe kantawges ministry maseke koge mi kamuges mi harwani hallu hode de ei foreign vessel gawai dakkanne genna je badal islahutake geneske ekam man hallu den barabod hamma wafa den algonda e wahaka guest house resorts ta adi mi safari ta mi den hamma wara boda divi rajenge to hemima algonda me wara boda e mi han ministry e bama seke kura e kiya mi hunnetto mi annani kita percent to mi ma share kurani aslo erun algonda menna e feata rawa kon support etto ministry faratum to MMPR sing ekan kam promote kurumuga itura algonda gabul kurani ha wara boda develop kure vidane hasako safari ta kanna gina farata ki dive kurumasha surf kurumasha mikhala bara gina kankamuga hemima surfing market ki wara bod hasako Australia ka tantanga algonda menna adhiya nuwe MMPR si ekom mihara midiha wara kam masviru gabbes marketing harakate bebunu henne hemi malgonda madi itura explore kurana korean wettanga ekanka ingeto hemi ewaha kan udekkuni hasako de algonda rangali temme tankole boda ebbe panebbe ka ane chen nubune tankole ekko as ಶಕುವಾ ಕುರಾನಿ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು ಕ್ಯಾರೇಗ ಯಾಸ್ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ವಾಹಕೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೋಕೆ ಮಿತ ಆಗೆ ಹಾಬಡ ಇಂಗೆ ತೋ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು ಮೆಂ ಫರಾತುಂ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಕನ್ ನುಬುನೆ ವೇನ್ ಹಮ ಗ್ಯಾಮಸ್ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು ಮೆಂ ಬಾಕಿ ಕುರಾ ವಾಹಕೆ ಎವ್ರೆ ಕುರಿಯ ಮಿ ವೇತು ವಿದಿಯ ತನವ್ರೆ ಮಿ ಸರುಕಾರು ಅಳಾಲು ಬೊಡುತನು ನಂಗಳು ಕಮ ಅಳಗೊಂಡ ಫಾಹ ಕುರೆ ವೇನ್ ಇಂಗೆ ತೋ ತೆಂ ಎಬ್ಬಾರು ದುಮ ವೆ ಸಮ ವರಬಡ ಶುಕುರು ದಂಡವಂ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಗೆ ರೈಸ್ ಸಮ ಎ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಗೆ ಫರಾತುಂ ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಗೆ ಕಂಕಮುಗ ಮಾ ಟೀಮ್ ವೆಸ್ ಅದಿ ಹಮ ಮಿ ಹುರಿಯ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಗೆ ಹಮ ಹುರಿಯ ಫರಾತ ಕೊಮ ಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಗೆ ಎಬ್ಬಾರು ಟೂರಿಸಂ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಳಗೊಂಡು mitang mi vidi hamas dosterega wara boda libe adi bike kankamuga bike befununna hama unnane personally mi adika misala kalwonu midiya wara fon India ga rice jumhuriya ga state visit uga bevunu India ga bike celebrity naki bevunu harakatuga ministry aslu eha bodu hede kuri kamen nun ei MMPRC budget ves etana event abala hama ei bike hede industry ga bike faratoge hama dilati ehi teri kamaki galgonu me kuriye gendiya kanka ema ekanka India market ngeto India market algon men kuriyan ettanga adi itura wara boda mi hare kamuge mashwarata I hasako mi rice ke datura fonden India China ga mi wagotaki e der sarukarege deterega e ufede gulume e emme muhimmu kankan etanon algon men kankan kuran fase homuge me China oti wararangala India emme fahum mi kore unu daturuga fenigendi hama algon men indidatu kureviya mi haru mi hatana algon badaliru ellakken ha faturu weri mi haro India ga gandaka dihiraj ziyaara kofi hemima miyanna haru algondu men e market wara boda tin hatar wane negene kamuge ummeed hama wara boda ngeto embege hama adi safar amer arhim wara boda maafa eden algonde eruga wahaka dekkiru safari tahuge wahaka nudekkuni mehe names divi rajyege tourism ga wara bura masekketeke koddewa farattake e wahaka ekam faha kollen ngeto shukriya
minister the minister Fakalil hang Algon Meng, Faturakam Senat, Korea, or T Algon Meng, Emeng, Ekomasek, Kogang, Vega. There's a far Horia panelist students were about Shukria Algon join Conservativity. Shukria.
Are we sure?
Thank you so much to all our panelists, our DMD, as well as our tourism minister for expressing his opinion. Now we're going to dive into our keynote sessions. So to start things off, let's talk about sustainable tourism, which is a key focus for the Maldives. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Lawrence Menz, Director of Sustainability and Conservation at Six Senses Lamo, to the stage. Hello, everyone. So I feel like we have talked a lot now, and we all need a break. So let's take a quick coffee break, and then we'll meet back here in 15 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right. See you in 10 minutes.